Ashby, former member of Emirates Team New Zealand and sailor. Glenn, can you please tell us a little bit what's your role now in Orient Express Racing Team?
Yeah, well, look, I've come over here, for a few days to spend a little bit of time with, with the team. They're sort of fairly late to the table, if you like, for AC37, and the team, I guess, is really the only team that hasn't had any AC75 experience. All the other teams have had experience on the big boat, and this team certainly hasn't. So it's a fairly small team, with a relatively small budget. So they've got the learning curve's really steep, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity, for them to to be part of the show. And I think hopefully their design team have done a nice job of designing them a fast boat.
When talking about your role specifically, are you completely orientated into sailors, or you're also working alongside with the design team and other areas?
Yeah, look, I guess my role is very much a sort of a helicopter view from the outside, if you like, looking inside the team. So obviously spending time with the sailing team, sort of working with them to try and help them sort of learn a little bit about the AC75 and spend a little bit of time with the LEQ. Just sort of talking about the physics, if you like, and the sort of sailability of how the boats work and what they're sort of likely to experience, as they move forward. So, whilst to be spending time, with the sailing team guys, I guess there's other departments, design and sort of management, I guess, that you can sort of be involved with as well. So it's really a global overview of just really the campaign as a whole.
When talking about that overview today, for the third day on the water and also on shore, can you share with us a little bit what's the first impression you have about the team overall speaking?
Yeah, the first impression, of the team here, they're all very enthusiastic and very excited to move forwards into the 75, which is fantastic. And for me, I haven't been involved with the America's Cup or with the team since the last race really of the last America's Cup. So living back in Australia and really sort of doing other projects, if you like, that that have wheels and things like that. It's been nice to get back on the water again. I certainly haven't done really much sailing at all over the last couple of years, and except for a little bit of windsurfing, it's been nice to get back on the water again. So for me, it's a real pleasure to be here.
Is the plan that your level of commitment and involvement with the team increases when we get closer to the Cup and once the AC75 is on the water?
Yeah, look, my role is really, just I guess a few days every now and again to to come and visit the team, and obviously the 75 sort of coming online is a huge priority. Not just for Orient Express Racing Team, it's also a priority for all the teams, and they'll all be working hard, getting the boats ready and getting on the water. So, once the racing starts, I'll be having to put my commentary hat on and get into the commentary booth for that side of things. But certainly, it's a really exciting period from now. I think not only for this team, but for all the teams. As the big boats are getting close to going into the water, and really that, I think, certainly for me personally, is one of the most exciting periods of the America's Cup, is actually when you see the boats, for the first time come out of the sheds, and the design, the foils, what sort of sails and things they've designed as well. So, and how the boats are actually sailed. So it's a really exciting period, and it's a great opportunity. I'm very pleased to be here, and thankful for the opportunity to come and be part of Orient Express Racing Team.
We're here with Terry Shear. cycler in the power group at Alinghi Red Bull Racing. A bit more time on the tow line than sailing on the foil today. How was it?
Well, it was very light. The conditions were super light, so we knew it before going out, but we still wanted to try. Definitely not the best sailing day, but still some interesting stuff.
What was the plan? What was the original plan had there been a little bit more wind?
Yeah, but of course we wanted to do some race lap and train our pre-start technique, but yeah, at the end it was too light to do so we had some fun on the water.
Will you have to do some extra cycling this evening to make up for it?
No, I had some gym training this morning before going on the water, so the training plan is still unchanged.
You had a few staff and guests rotating onto the boat for some joyrides today. Does that mean Boat Zero's time on the water is coming to an end?
Not yet, but obviously with the new boat coming, we want to change boat as soon as possible. But it was fun to welcome our colleagues on board. Some people of the shore team, some designers, some people working in the. Sofia was there, so it was cool to get them involved, and also we had the chance to swap position between the cyclers and the helmsmen, so it was good to see our helmsmen on the bike.
And what position did you jump into?
I was the only one who didn't change, but yeah, I mean there was just a funny moment. We also saw some dolphins, so it was quite romantic out there.
With the new boat coming, how will your role change when you start to sail on this new boat? Will you have any tasks to do that you haven't had to perform on Boat Zero?
No, I don't think so. The goal is to improve from Boat Zero in terms of performance and keep learning and keep developing our system or performances out there. So it's just going to be a natural progression until the regatta.
Are you expecting the same power requirements on the new boat as on Boat Zero, or is there going to be a significant difference?
I don't think it will be very different. I just think what we developed before with Boat Zero is going to be very useful for Boat One, but you always want to develop your system to make them as easy and to produce the less possible watt and to take out the maximum advantage of it. So we will see how the boat reacts. It's a totally new concept, our own concept, so that's very exciting.
And can you just give us an idea of what sort of input you've had on the cyclo system?
I think in terms of performance it was very close to what I was used to, going to the Olympics on the track or in road cycling, so I think it's really high performance on those boats, and you need to prepare yourself for this kind of the attitude is really you cannot keep the training and the fitness side of it because it's really intense.
Terry, thank you so much for your time.
Dylan Fletcher, a bit of a frustrating day for the British team and for all the teams that were out there today. The wind didn't materialise. What was the forecast when you went out this morning?
Yeah, we thought it would be light, but we thought it'd be maybe a couple more knots than there was. But ultimately, the breeze has been fantastic recently, and all the teams have been getting good hours in. And I think what's been nice is we've had that southwesterly. So frustrating day, but it comes with it in winter in Barcelona.
What were you trying to achieve when you went out if there had been wind?
Yeah, we had a bunch of tests to run through and get some racing in, and then we were going to get some of the APP sailors on in the end, but unfortunately, the wind just didn't play ball.
Just to drop back to yesterday, you had an LEQ, a J2 LEQ head salon. When we looked at the footage and the photographs yesterday evening, we felt that sail was maybe a much lighter material than other sails that we've seen. Are we right or wrong?
I'm not sure if it's any lighter or not than the normal one, but it is obviously different to the standard one design.
Is that something we're going to see across the range of sails, or is this a headsel technology?
I don't know, to be honest, but it's it's good for us to use the AC40 platform to have a look at it versus the one design. So it's very useful testing.
Now, you weren't sailing with the team yesterday, but you were out on the water. We saw you out in your Moth. How much of what you experience in the Moth can you apply to the AC40 and to the bigger boat?
Yeah, I guess doing a little bit less sailing now, so just getting out there and you do see some things, and it's always useful to experience those conditions.
When you look around the other teams now, we're getting into the interesting, or even more interesting phase where we're going to see some of the big boats. From what you've seen so far, who's impressed you?
I guess all the teams are impressive at the end of the day. I guess we can see a little bit more of what goes on here by just seeing the other teams on the water. Obviously it's exciting that Alinghi have got their boat here, and there'll be a lot of attention on that, I'm sure, soon. So yeah, it's moving into, as you say, the really exciting time when we start seeing what people's race yachts look like.
What's the schedule now? What's the programme for the British team between now and the launch of the new boat?
Yeah, we'll just be pushing on with our testing programme and our sailing, and then at some point I guess we'll wind that down as we look to get the big boat on the water.
'69 on LEQ12 here in the Hauraki Gulf with Team New Zealand. We have Elise, the on-water performance engineer. Good day in the water.
Yes, yeah, so we headed out today, like quite a nice breeze offshore, so it's quite sort of shifty and puffy. So yeah, gusts and lulls, and just trying to do a bit more, I guess, toward uprange stuff on these foils, and just continued testing of them.
Yep. What kind of data points are you looking for when you're like testing these foils?
So I guess part of it, we've got two different foils on each side, so anything we notice sort of side to side between them, cavitation speeds, how much the boat speed drops through a manoeuvre and how quickly it accelerates after it. And I guess in terms of coming up with race foils and stuff, it's a whole lot of trade-offs between performance across the wind range, and then within wind speeds you've got that range of boat speed from bottom speeds out of tacks through to top speeds and bear away. So I guess that's what makes the design challenging for coming up with the race foils, and why all the teams have made these different test foils to sort of, validate our tools, which say how well foils will perform in different conditions, and then check that that lines up.
Yeah, and on that, how is the sim data lining up with the sailing data that you're gathering?
I think stuff's, pretty good, and I guess we've got quite good VPP simulation tools, and that goes right back to when we came up with the AC75. So after Bermuda, and when we're considering the kind of class of yacht that we'd do, we tried all these different options in the simulator and ultimately came to the AC75, which we're racing now. And that's all through simulation. We had no prototype test boat. It was BAR who launched the first test boat back then, and was the first one in real life. So yeah, I guess it's continual refinement of the tools where there's just little differences, but it's pretty good.
Cool. I noticed the guys today were spending a lot of time doing some high-speed roundups and stuff like that. Was the data that you're seeing matching the sailors' feelings, or anything you can comment there?
Yeah, so I guess maybe recently we've been doing some longer straight lines and stuff, but getting through a pre-start's also part of the race, so just trying out some more pre-start type manoeuvres today and checking everything's all good.
Cool. And then you touched briefly on the VPP versus the on-water stuff, and talking about the new boat. Have you seen the new boat and what's actually being built compared to what's in the computer?
So I haven't personally seen the new boat in the flesh, been pretty busy here, and haven't had a chance to get up to the yard, but I've seen pictures and stuff, and it's really exciting. And really looking forward to our launch and getting out on it, and then also looking forward to seeing what the other teams have come up with, you know, it sounds like quite a lot of us launching around a similar time. It's going to be really exciting seeing the hulls, the foils, sails, and what everyone's done.